So I'm gonna put on the screen in this video the gaslighting from Wikipedia. I apologize if there's little lines on the screen or something. I just took a picture of the screen. So basically, I'm gonna prove to you that the opposition who does gang stalking is sick. So far, I've never heard a single person claim, a single person who wasn't a psychiatrist, which this should be a huge giveaway, claim that gang stalking doesn't exist. I have heard people say that sometimes the gang stalker, becomes a schizophrenic or something, and assumes everyone is stalking him, which is naturally what the mind does. Is once you think that people are after you, and whether you're right or not, eventually you start seeing that everyone's after you. It happens to gang members all the time. They see a car drive up at night. Sometimes they shoot it up because they think it's their enemy. Because that's what happens when people are really after you. Naturally, what happens is that's what you think. I'm going to prove that the opposition are sociopaths and psychopaths. I'm going to prove gaslighting is a legit clinical, psychological term. And I'm going to prove to you, beyond any doubt, that gang stalking is real because of the literature which shows definitively that this happens, and it is described again and again. Almost typically, it's a woman who is being done to a woman by a husband. And ironically, the last time I checked the statistics of gang stalking, is this happens to women more than men. The irony of that is priceless, because everyone knows that liberals control psychiatry more than any political party. Okay, feminist perspective of psychology. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a picture of that as well in here. I'm gonna put pictures of gaslighting with certain places highlighted to prove my point. I'm gonna put a picture of sociopaths, the definition, because it's referenced in the gaslighting definition on Wikipedia. Okay, and I'm gonna show you a picture of the feminist perspective of psychology. The feminist point of view, the feminist view is described in different ways. How I was taught in college was it was called the feminist perspective, but I've seen it referred to in different ways. But that's what it is. So let me just read this real quick. Gaslighting, or gaslighting, which is with a dash, is a form of mental abuse in which information is twisted or spun, selectively omitted to favor the abuser, or false information is presented with the intent of making victims doubt their own memory, perception, and sanity. I wonder who benefits the most from this if you doubt their sanity. The abuser, because you've discredited the victim, and the mental health people, because you've given them another patient and more money. And if the mental health people are the abusers, which is the case in gang stalking, the major people doing this is mental health, because it's their expert power, if you will. People let the experts lead the charge or control, the operation. If you have someone who's an expert in chemistry, they're the main advisor. They're the main ones controlling the chemical operation. If you have a mental health expert, they're the main ones controlling the psychological operation. So, moving on. Instances may range from the denial by an abuser that previous abusive incidents ever occurred, up to the staging of bizarre events by the abuser with the intention of disorienting the victim. Absolutely gang stalking described to a T. The word gang stalking is not even in this definition, but it should show you exactly why this is being done, who's doing it, and the people who are doing it are the most familiar with gaslighting and how to do it, and experiments of gaslighting which have shown them how to do it, the effects, and what to expect from it more than anyone else. The term owes its origin to play gaslighting and its film adaptations, after which it was coined popularly. The term has been used in clinical and research literature. Okay, I've just proven one of my points. Now, going on to the etymology, the gaslighting has been used colloquially since the 1960s to describe efforts to manipulate someone's sense of reality. In a 1980 book on child sex abuse, Florence Rush summarizes George Cukor's 1944 film version of gaslighting, writes, "Even today, the word gaslighting is used to describe an attempt to destroy another's perception of reality." Okay, clinical examples. Now, this part is key. Another point about to be proven. Sociopaths frequently use gaslighting tactics. Sociopaths consistently transgress social mores, break laws, and exploit others, but typically are also charming and convincing liars who consequently deny wrongdoing. Sound like anyone? Shrinks, psychologists, sound like anyone you know, police officers. Thus, some who have been victimized by sociopaths may doubt their perceptions. Sound familiar, gang stalking victims? Some physically abusive spouse may gaslight their partners by flatly denying that they have been violent. Sound familiar, rape victims? Gang stalking victims of rape and sexual assault? Victims of sexual assault in the psych wards and abuse? Sound familiar? Gaslighting describes a dynamic observed in some cases of marital infidelity. Therapists may contribute to the victim's distress through mislabeling the woman's reactions. Sound familiar? Point proven? The gaslighting behaviors of the husband provide a recipe for the so-called nervous breakdown for some women and suicide in some of the worst situations. Sound familiar? Those of you who are familiar and educated about the suicides that have been happening as a result of gang stalking, which gaslighting is key to it. Not this part. Oh man, I wish I had more time to explore this. Gaslighting may also occur in parent-child relationships with either parent, child, or both lying to each other and attempting to undermine perceptions. My own parents were doing it to me. And it's common. This is common. This is how it's described. Furthermore, gaslighting has been observed between patients and staff in inpatient psychiatric facilities. And they give us a reference. Go down to 10. 10. Lund C.A. Gardner, AQ, 1977. The Gaslight Phenomenon, an Institutional Variant. British Journal of Psychiatry. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh man, oh man. Some of Sigmund Freud's conduct has been characterized as gaslighting regarding the case of Sergei Pankajev, nicknamed the Wolfman due to his dream featuring wolves that he discussed extensively with Freud. Psychiatrist Dorprat wrote, Freud brought relentless pressure on the Wolfman to accept and to confirm Freud's reconstructions and formulations. Oh man, one of the main people in psychiatry and psychology. Oh man. Yeah, it goes on. You know, gaslighting involves the projection and introjection of psychic conflicts from the perpetrator to the victim. This imposition is based on a very special kind of transfer of painful and potentially painful mental conflicts. Oh man. I'm almost out of time, so let me do the sociopaths and the feminist perspective and wrap it up. Antisocial personality disorder, which is what I got when I clicked on sociopath. Antisocial or dissocial personality disorder is characterized by a pervasive pattern of disregard for or violation of the rights of others. There may be an impoverished moral sense of conscience and a history of crime, legal problems, and impulsive and aggressive behavior. That's what these people are. Okay? Psychopathy. Sociopathy. Okay? And the irony is these are the people who are supposed to understand what this is better than anyone else. I'll put this on the screen. I'm almost out of time, so let me just type in feminist perspective and see what comes up. The feminist perspective. Feminist sociology. Feminist perspectives on power from plato.stanford.edu. Feminist perspectives, wiki gender. Okay? Now, I have just proven all my points. One last thing I'm going to type in. Gaslighting and gang stalking. Gang stalkers gaslighting, how it works. WordPress. Okay, Facebook. And this is the funny part, okay? Because you're not going to get any official sites. This also proves my point. Why is this not talked about on any valid sources? Why don't they say, oh, this is why don't they say whether it's right or wrong? Because people know that you don't want to be the one who goes down in history as the one saying that this is a psychiatric event. You have to be extremely greedy to know that later on in history, when people expose what's happened in the last administrations, you know, as you saw with Nixon and Kennedy, et cetera, Carter, you know, you don't want to be the dickhead who said, oh, these people are crazy, it doesn't exist, and then later comes out it exists. So you only see the most unscrupulous, greedy, and biggest sellouts are the ones who are going to say that this is a psychiatric phenomenon strictly and it has nothing to do with reality. Thank you.